Shannon, how impressive were the Cowboys?
Guys, I really try not to overreact in week one because we've seen teams look really, really bad in week one and go on to have a great season, and we've seen teams be outstanding in week one and then all of a sudden they lay an egg. But given the sort of circumstances that they've been dealing with, as Zeke mentioned, 14 months, but let's just go since he's been suspended. The suspension of Zeke has been hanging over their heads. And for the Cowboys to come out and play as well as they did, especially Zeke, because it's his life, it's his reputation that's on the line. So I can assure you it's weighing more heavily on his mind than Jerry Jones, because Jerry would like for him to play, but that's not Jerry's reputation at stake. Skip, I think it was more bad Giants offense than Cowboys good defense. Eli didn't play well early. They got to him early, which made him gun shy, and he didn't get any help from his receivers. Odell not being there. I'm not saying maybe the outcome wouldn't have been different, but I think Odell makes everyone's job a lot easier. Everybody else is now the focus just so much on Odell that other guys start to relax. Brandon Marshall, I don't think he's going to be the Brandon Marshall that we know and love, the one that we've seen over all these years in Denver.
So after 1 week, you're going to write off?
No. I'm not going to write him off. But Skip, I think well, here's the thing. How much time is Odell going to miss?
I'm going to guess he's going to be back for, what do they play, Monday night against the Lions? So I'll bet he'll be back.
The Cowboys offense did what the Cowboys offense normally do. They were very good on third down, over 50%. They control the clock, over 34 minutes the time of possession. But the Giants, when you only have the ball for 9 minutes in the first half and your defense is on the field as much as they are, I don't care how good a defense you possess. If you leave them on the field long enough, teams will find a way to take advantage of you. And that's what happened yesterday, because you look in the second half, Skip, as great as Dak played in the first half, how many points they scored in the second half? Oh, yeah, that made it. Don't worry about it. No, you
I don't know. I'll have to ask my research.
Whoa, Skip. That's unnecessary, Skip. I don't need you taking shots at my research.
I said I was going to have to ask my researcher because I forgot to ask that.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't watch. You know what? I got distracted by Hazel in the second half, started playing with her, and I didn't watch.
You was feeling so good it was 16-0. You was like feeling good, huh?
Okay.
But this is what we know.
It was 19-3.
The final score.
Yes. Thank you.
Was that the halftime score?
No, it was 16-0 at half.
Yeah, I could have swore I said that. Maybe I said that in my mind.
I'll check with my researcher just to verify.
Yeah, okay. Well. But here's the thing. If I'm the Giants, I feel real comfortable for the simple fact I'm going against this vaunted offense. Dak Prescott's going to be in the MVP conversation all year long. Oh, Zeke Elliott came out with a man possessed the best offensive line in football. They played 4 times over the last 2 years. They've been held under 20 points. What? All those times.
3 times.
Well, they only play. What are they going to play for? They're going to hold them again. They're going to hold them again. Oh, you think they're going to score 20? That's not going to give up 20 points in that offense.
It depends if the ball is slippery.
Oh, stop it, Skip. The ball was dry last night. They played in the dome.
They did. You got it.
And they got
Thank you. Keep talking.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How many points did I tell you the Cowboys would score?
I don't remember.
You remember exactly what I said.
You told me the Giants would score more. That's all I know.
I did, but I said 19 points. Yeah, I was right on with that.
Well, you nailed it. But let's see. How many were the Giants would score? I think it was
26.
You were going up to 29, then you 26. Dialed it down a little bit to 26. So you only missed that by 23. Go ahead.
But I tell you what is concerning, because even after a year of having a year to address it, Skip, the Giants' offensive line is no better than what it was last year. They can run the ball no better than what they did last year. And when you can't run the football and you got a porous offensive line, I don't care how good your quarterback is, and I don't care how good the auxiliary pieces outside are. If you can't protect him, if a defense knows, run for what? We're going to play the run on the way to the quarterback. They got to Eli early. Eli looked really shaky. He ended up with some okay numbers, Skip, but that's not nearly good enough to win. And guess what? The Eagles got a better defensive line than what the Cowboys. The Giants need to address their offensive line. Now, I don't know what they can do now, but maybe they go to shorter passing game, Skip. But if Odell can't come back and provide some kind of big play potential, but a lot of it's going to have to be hit, catch, and run. They're not going to have time to throw it to him down the field, because that offensive line, I can get me a sack against 2 of those guys.
Okay. You finished?
I'm finished.
So, bottom line takeaway for Cowboy hater Shannon Sharpe to start off the show, I'm just laying it out on the table, stating the fact, is that you say Cowboys not that impressive last night. It was more about what the Giants couldn't do on offense, correct? Is that fair enough?
Yeah, fair.
I assessed it, okay. Now, back to the Odell Beckham Jr. question.
Stop giving people nicknames. Odell Beckham Jr.
When you need him most, he's Odell. He was Odell up at Lambeau in that playoff game, wasn't he? On that early third down, right in his hands. Whoops, Odell.
We're talking about the Giants Cowboys.
Okay, well, I'm just going to frame this for you. So, what did I tell you throughout the offseason? Probably like 29 times sitting in this chair throughout, 6 months of offseason. I kept telling you the Giants are offensively challenged. I kept telling you that over the last 6 games last year, they did not score more than 19 points. That includes the game at Lambeau Field. Not more than 19 points. And they managed all of 3 last night in no surprise to me because they are offensive line challenged. Didn't I tell you that even a week ago?
I got to check my research.
Friday? Check it out. Check the tape. Didn't I tell you that they have little to no run game to take pressure off the passing game? Didn't I tell you that Eli Manning, this is a quote-unquote from me, I'm going to quote myself accurately. I told you Eli Manning has become the most overrated quarterback in all of pro football because he does have 2 Super Bowl rings against Tom Brady. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And even Eli admitted to us at Houston sitting over there that it was the luckiest pass in Super Bowl history, the one to Tyree that stuck in his face.
What about the other
saved
one?
The day. It was a beautiful throw to Manningham.
Okay. And then he beat him in the regular season in New England, too.
He did do that. But the key was that he beat him twice in games that really, really, really counted. And that's really all he has to show because he's also led the league in interceptions 3 times. And last year, he was 4th in the league in interceptions, tied with Blake Bortles and Brock Osweiler. That's the guy that you told me throughout the whole offseason was going to win the NFC and get to the Super Bowl. But then right on schedule on Friday, you switched off. You went to the Seahawks. But you kept telling me the Giants were going to win the NFC.
They're going to win the NFC East.
I know, but you kept saying they were going to be the Super Bowl team. Am I right, Joy?
Yeah, but then Odell, you know,
Okay,
they won't pay him his money.
But I give you credit for this. You switched off to the Seahawks, though. I'm really shaky about that pick after what I saw yesterday. But we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So back to what happened. The Giants last year at Green Bay in a playoff game managed 13 points. And I'm going to warn you that with Odell in the lineup against Dallas last year twice, first game he caught 4 balls for all of 73 yards and no touchdowns. And I don't even remember him the first game, the 20-19 opener of a year ago when Dak was a raw rookie 4th-round pick getting thrown into the fire for Tony Romo in the first NFL game he ever played in. Yeah. Then in the second game up at Giant Stadium, what do they call it now, MetLife, on a Sunday night in December on which it had snowed that day all day and there was slush all over the field, and Eli said, I couldn't hold on to the football. Odell Beckham did catch 1 big ball in that game because Barry did not go to church on that Sunday morning because he went the wrong way.
He went to chapel.
Yeah, he went to chapel maybe pregame, but he didn't listen. I don't know what happened.
Stop saying that.
I don't know what happened, but he went the wrong way. He went south instead of north. And Odell Beckham took off and ran all the way to the house with the 1 ball that Eli threw accurately, 61 yards. So he caught 4 balls in that game for a grand total of 94 yards, but 61 came on the only touchdown of the game. So you cannot make the case today that Odell Beckham changes the world last night if he plays, because I don't think he would have, because the line is still the line. They can't even block the Cowboy pass rush. And the running game is still not the running game. Because,
it's anemic.
I'm sorry, who is it? Help me out. Who's going to do it? I told you all offseason, help me out. I thought they were going to sign LeGarrette Blount. Philly signed him.
I mean, you're looking at Paul Perkins. Hell, he ran like Marlon Perkins.
He did. That's a good line. I agree with you. And I'm surprised you even know who Marlon Perkins is. That your grandpa's sweater is accurate because you must have been wearing it when you used to watch
Wild Kingdom.
Wild Kingdom. How do you know that show? It's way before my time.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
You and Marlon Perkins about the same age.
Yeah, okay. I think Marlon's got me by a couple.
Yeah,
He's still with us? God bless you if you're not, Marlon.
I don't think
he's still with us. Okay, so the point is that I thought Odell would at least try to play last night. And I was shocked he didn't try to play because we saw the dance video. What was that, like 10 days ago?
Yeah, the man did a little two-step. He did a little two-step.
Little two-step.
Yeah.
And then we saw a practice video in which he looked like he could run straight ahead, okay? Right. And then we saw the pregame video last night. I don't know. He can't cut probably. He's a little tender on the ankle. But I'm thinking, Ben McAdoo, why don't you just tell him to decoy? And I know Chris Collinsworth made the point. You don't listen to the game sound,
I do not.
Right? Okay, but Chris Collinsworth made the point, gee, I'm surprised, and I was too. I thought Odell would at least just go out there and just stand. I don't know, just try to...
Nah, Skip, you know why you don't do that?
No.
It's hard to really go out there and stand when they're messing with your money. See, I would go out...
Aha! Thank you for bringing that up. That was my thought, too.
I would go out there and stand if I was making my money like I'm supposed to. Yes.
Now we get down to the nitty-gritty of what was going on last night. I think there was a little pout going on, maybe a little negotiation going on, because... Odell Thurman has made the statement.
Odell Beckham.
I'm sorry, Odell. I'm calling Thurman. Beckham has made the resounding statement he wants to be paid the highest in the league, not just wide receivers. He wants the most money of anybody in the league.
That's hyperbole. You and I both know.
I don't think it was. He said it. Didn't he say that's the elephant in the room?
No, the elephant in the room is not him being the highest paid. Will he be the highest paid receiver? Yes, I absolutely believe he will be the highest paid receiver. Yeah. He's not getting, Skip, do you actually think they're going to give him Matthew Stafford money? Honestly.
Well, honestly, I don't. Do I think he'll ask for it? Honestly, I do.
All they can do is tell you no. So, hey, look, I want to be played like Matthew Stafford. Jerry Reese answer. Hell no. Okay, next.
Okay, next. Ben McAdoo, or as I call him, Ben Much Ado About Nothing, took 2 shots at the Dallas Cowboys last week, and I'm going to get to both of them, but that indicated to me that Ben McAdoo, entering all of his second year of being a head coach in the National Football League, really wasn't taking the Cowboys that seriously. They did win twice last year, 20-19 and 10-7, and I think he's like, we saw him conferring with Beckham on the field, and it was like, it looked like they're saying, not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Just wait until next Monday night when we need you against the Detroit Lions, right? That's how it came across to me.
Well, it came across to me is that I'm not going to go out here and jeopardize my career trying to help you guys win on a bum ankle.
I agree. Thank you very much. And here's my bottom line. It is very difficult to win the way you think this team is going to win, because you did pick them at least to win the NFC East. It's difficult to do that when your whole world revolves around one player, Odell Beckham Jr., whose whole world revolves only around Odell Beckham Jr. The whole offseason was about me, me, me. I'm going to tour with Drake in Europe, but I'm not going to go to Eli's passing camp at Duke, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to show up for the OTAs unless I absolutely have to. I'm not going to show the team that I'm with them, that I'm going to be the leader of this team, even though I was the one who led the receivers to South Beach to get ready for a game at Lambeau Field, a playoff game.
So in the offseason, when is Eli going to have that offensive line meeting? When are you going to have them to get together so they can block better than what they're doing right now?
Where's the chemistry? The chemistry starts with the throw to the receiver. You're a Hall of Famer. You get that?
Yeah.
You work on it in the offseason, even though you said you wouldn't go.
No, I didn't work on it. I worked on it in minicamp when it was time.
I thought you worked hard.
I did work hard.
Oh.
I did work hard. But they were paying me to stay in Atlanta.
Okay.
So I didn't want to upset the chemistry.
I get that. But I still say this team is going to become a troubled team, especially if it loses to the Detroit Lions, which is starting to look like Detroit's better than I thought. I know it's just 1 week, but they got some firepower. So
what about the Cardinals? Are they worse than you thought?
Well, I don't know. Let's not get off on the Cardinals because of because of Detroit. Okay. All right, but let's stay on schedule. So here's the point. You picked a team that's whole world hinges upon the happiness of that one receiver, right? And that one receiver didn't change life for them down the stretch because he averaged catching 7 balls for 80 yards, and they couldn't score more than 19 points with him. So don't give me, oh, it's going to change the world last night in that game. It would have completely changed the game.
Are they a better team with or without Odell Beckham?
Well, they're better, but
Okay.
but I don't think it changes the outcome of the game last night.
Well, maybe a 2 first-down catches. You're able to stay on the field a little longer. Your defense gets a little longer rest, and maybe you get a field goal. Maybe you get a touchdown.
Maybe.
Because now you get 3 more cracks to get the ball into the end zone.
2 games last year, he caught 4 balls and only 1 for a touchdown.
Well,
just for the record, I don't think that changed those
We're going
games.
to talk about this later. Well, considering Dez played 3 games and he only has 4 catches in those games.
Okay. I'm going to get to Des Bryant in just a moment. So back to Joy Taylor's initial question to start this segment.
Yeah.
How impressive were the Cowboys? They were extremely impressive on both sides of the football. And I'm going all the way out what I've told you all offseason. They were Super Bowl impressive to me last night once again. So incredibly, they did this. I want to just frame what happened last night. They did this without their best pass rusher, David Irving, who's suspended for the first 4 games, as you know. They did it without what I thought was a steal of a 3rd-round pick. Jordan Lewis, who's got a pulled hamstring and has not been available through much of the preseason. And Jordan Lewis is on his way to becoming their best cornerback. Their best cornerback right now is named Orlando Scandrick. And they did it you said it was only 3-3 in the second half. Scandrick couldn't even play in the second half. He broke his hand before the first half ended and is gone now. They think they're going to get him back. He'll probably have to play with some kind of cast on, but he's going to have surgery for a second time on the same left hand. And still, it was 3-3 in the second half, and Eli couldn't even take advantage of no Orlando Scandrick.
Can I ask you a question, Skip, if you don't mind me asking? Help me. I'll hate to interject and hate to interrupt you. But how many offensive lines do you think the Cowboys are going to play against that will be equal to or worse than the Giants line?
The Giants have the best defense in pro football. That's all I know.
Skip,
they do.
How many teams will the Cowboys face that has a worse or equal to offensive line?
I have to go down the schedule. But I told you all year, I'm not being a hypocrite. This isn't 20/20 hindsight. I told you they're terrible in the offensive line. Eric Flowers is a liability. DeMarcus Lawrence, you kept saying, is he going to be available? Is he going to? Yes, he's going to be available. I think he was really available for Eli last night because he was all over him from the start of the game. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, they also did it last night with that Anthony Hitchens, who's one of their better linebackers, and he's gone for the first 8 games. Wait until these guys start to get healthy, and that defense is going to start to get real healthy.